Hello, my name is Richard Salva. I am the author of several books on the subjects of reincarnation and past lives, all based on the teachings of Paramahansa Yogananda, the author of the classic autobiography of a yogi. The other day I watched part of a video online. It showed people behaving badly and apparently receiving instantaneous judgment from the universe in the form of negative responses, often as a direct result of their actions. You know, as in the case of a man kicking a dog and then the dog turning around to bite him, that sort of thing. It should be no surprise that the video had instant karma in the title. I've mentioned before John Lennon's song by that title, and if we watch life closely, it really does seem that the principle of instant karma at least sometimes comes into play. But what is instant karma exactly, and how does it work? Well, karma often takes years and perhaps lifetimes to come back, but sometimes when the environment is ideally suited for it, it can come back immediately. This can happen to anyone. Sometimes the universe notices that the situation is so perfect to finalize the karma that it acts right there and then to do so. You may have seen this principle in play on reality shows like The Amazing Race. Individuals who otherwise probably would never have met in this lifetime, traveling together in foreign countries and sometimes acting against each other, and then either later in that episode or in a following episode, their action comes back to haunt them. Well, at those times, why shouldn't the universe close the circle? Those people are right there together, actually stuck there together for weeks on end, in very singular circumstances. It just makes sense, when possible, to close the loop. And so, as I said, this principle can affect any of us at any time. But those it affects the most, or who may be most affected by it, are those who are developing spiritually. Let me explain. One of the main reasons karma takes so long to return to us is that our egos often push it away in various ways. When we act very egoically, when we are very ego-driven, we are not interested in learning our karmic lessons. So we may work hard to push those karmic lessons away when they come to us. Swami Kriyananda, Yogananda's direct disciple, gave this illustration. Every action bears the weight of a karmic return. In a sense, it's like pushing on a pendulum. At some point, karmically speaking, that pendulum will swing back to us. And again, the purpose of that backswing is to teach us lessons. However, if our egos are very hardened, and let's face it, not very wise, we might say, no, I don't accept this happening. And so, metaphorically speaking, when the pendulum swings back, instead of allowing it free play to swing freely, our egos push it back again and again in the same direction, in a desperate gambit to forever hold off the inevitable. It's like a person who has drunk too much, and rather than experience the resulting hangover the next morning, he drinks more to keep putting off the pain of it and the need for self-reflection and changing his habits. Over time, though, continued practice of this pushing away will build up a very large negative karmic return. The weight of the pendulum becomes heavier and heavier with each egoic push, and the return cannot be held off forever. At some point it must come back, and then watch out. On the other hand, as we grow spiritually, we begin to see the wisdom of learning life's lessons as they are presented to us. There's less of a sense of pushing back at them. That doesn't mean that we accept passively every negative thing that happens to us, or that we never defend ourselves from attacks. It depends on the situation how we will respond to it. But we do not negate or deny reality. We accept the truth of the situation, whatever it is, and then respond from that awareness. Jesus said that when someone strikes us on one cheek, we should then turn the other cheek for them to strike also. This teaching shows the principle of accepting karma in order to learn from it. Beyond that, Swami Kriyananda points out that turning the other cheek can actually be a way of keeping control over the process. To say inwardly, yes, I initiated this experience by my actions in the past. I own it. And more than that, I open myself fully to any further blows to finish this karma forever. I will in no way prevent it from happening. I do this consciously to finalize this negative karma so that I can be free of it. Now, this is a very different way of looking at turning the other cheek than the passive image of it often painted. However, again, how we act will depend on the situation and what is most needed at that time for our growth. But it would be good for us to keep in mind that turning the other cheek may be what is called for on a spiritual level, what is being asked of us. And then let instant karma, or any karma for that matter, come as it may.